Hey guys, Hemi Vertible here. Hey guys, Hemi Vertible here. Hey, so while we got this other work going on this thing, I got the valve still here because we're working on the bumper brackets and getting that bumper put on the front. In the meantime, I'm kind of double tasking. I had started the replacement of my Checkmark trim back here on the back buttresses back by the rear window, and I ended up with a piece that had a pock marker, you know, little spot on it, raised spot on the chrome. And hey, let me give a shout out to Brewer's Performance. I tell you, yeah, I bought that stuff back in June, and I called up and they said, hey, you know, you got a problem with it, send it back, we'll swap it out. I sent it out Friday last week, and by Friday today I got my new pieces. You know, this stuff is it has really turned out pretty nice. So I'll let you check it out here real quick. So we're going to be check that. So you know, we're going to be replacing this Checkmark. I figure I'd do a little video on that for you, but you know, this stuff is you know, like pot metal types, and the old ones, you know, they just pocked all up and they got crappy marks all over them, and they just really look bad. And I think, you know, there's probably services that you can actually send it out to get redone, but I think it's really expensive to do. I'm not really sure. If there's any new stuff out there available now or not. But you know, so basically, you know, it sits back here in this back corner, and the whole trick to the thing is it goes in these holes. The studs poke through there and they bolt in underneath. But the trick is, like I said, you have to loosen up this trim here as well, get in there, and then this is bolted in there too with a nut on the inside, and it lifts up, so you have to lift that up off of there so you can get this piece down inside of it first. But it is kind of tricky because you got to get that in there kind of level at the same time you slide it forward and hit your hole to get in there. So it's a little tricky to get that set up. But I had it in there once until I opened up the other piece, and I found out the other side is the piece that had the pock mark in it. But the other trick to all this, you know, is basically the rest of the car. This trim is all stainless steel. So for the most part, it can just be polished, and you get some of these little dents and stuff like there, they can be worked out. You know, all the trim around the rear window was all stainless steel. I polished all that up. Quite a bit of work to get all that done, but I still need to, you know, hit the stuff over top of the doors. And I think, you know, that's like a M21 or M23 or something molding trim that not all Chargers got, but I think it might have been like an RT thing or SE sort of type deal where they added that. We'll go ahead and get this stuff out of the way here so we can pop the trunk. You got to climb in the trunk. I'm physically in the trunk to get up into that stuff, to get to those bolts and everything. But it's crazy. Once you're in there, the trunk is absolutely massive. So we'll get in there and get the video of some of that stuff going on up in there. Now, as unfortunate it is, this gas cap, these are also that like a pot metal or whatever. That's not a stainless steel piece. So this gets really nasty over the years. Not really a whole lot you can do about that. I've ordered a new trim ring and cap from AMD. We'll see how that looks once we slap that on there. Should spiff it up a little bit as well. So it really didn't take much to get this on. Look in there, only 3 screws. You pop the 3 screws out, gas cap comes off, got a little gasket, like a foam gasket underneath of there that sits under there. I guess keeps the water from getting down in there. Take the screws out, set them all down in there, put screws back in. Done. New flip top gas cap. Pretty cool that we have the both of them together here, the 69 Charger and the 70 Challenger. See, they're a little bit different, not a whole lot, but very similar. Okay, so we popped in the new piece, and a little tough to get, like I said, to get it slid in here and then get it in this first hole. You feel like something's going to break, but this stainless steel is pretty forgiving. It'll stretch out a little bit and pop right back in, but it worked out pretty good. But what's interesting is, you know, nothing's ever exactly the same. You got this old piece, it looks, you know, physically it looks almost like it's identical, but you can see where my guy had cut the vinyl top down around the old trim, and this is just a hair thinner, you know, around here and around that side, but the rest of it's pretty daggone close. The holes lined up perfect, which was nice. All my studs went right in. We still got to climb in the trunk and go ahead and put those little self-threading screws on these studs. All right, so finishing up on this Checkmark trim back here on this back sail panel. I said, you know, we got them popped in on both sides, which wasn't really too hard, but it was a little bit of a challenge to get that started in there and get the studs through the opening. But you know, look at this trunk. This baby's massive. Basically, I'm just gonna climb right in. Check this out. On there, I'm up on a little step stool, right in the back, and right back up in here. Check it out. Basically, for the most part, the trim, basically a trim screw comes through there, up there, and then these ones back here are the side pieces that go down the top of the fender up to the door. They've all been snugged down and tightened up. Pretty cool how this whole thing goes together like that. You can see this fender had a replacement panel put on it, where they stopped it up there, welded it into place. Kind of interesting setup, but I guess that's the way some people do it. Down under here it was pretty interesting, is it had the rear defrost, and they put a speaker in the hole, and they relocated it back here and left it open, but they still hooked up the hose to go over to the discharge in the center of the window, so it's pulling air from back in the trunk instead of pulling air from inside the car. There we go. Basically, we're in that trunk, crawling around. But I'm gonna flip myself around here. I'm gonna come over to the other side. You can see, you know, that's the trim is right there. If you come under here, you can see the piece, your first nut, second stud, third stud, that holds all that stuff up in there. And then these are the trim on the fender, bolts that in. But that's all it is. All those screws are 3/8 little plastic things, but it worked out pretty good. Snugged up good. Just got to make sure you don't tighten them up too much, because I have snapped those things before. The bolts get so tight on them, and it doesn't work out so well when you snap a stud off, because nobody wants something like that returned with a snapped stud. So you do it once, and then you're going to be doing it 10 times if you keep snapping them. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the totality of getting those check marks changed out. Like that trunk light, that's part of the A01 light package. Got the old light in the trunk. And you know, after 56 years, still works. How cool is that? All right, guys. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that check mark change out. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the more of the fun we're having trying to preserve this baby, clean it up, and save it for the next generation. See you on the next one.